Hey everyone, it is late at night and I'm Norman. For tonight's watch news video, we're going to be looking at a micro brand. This brand makes some really amazing dials, and there's something else about this brand that's pretty interesting. So the brand that we're exploring tonight is Vitreum Watches. And for the amount of craftsmanship that goes into these watches, they're actually pretty affordable, considering what the brand's doing. And what's more, I'm pretty sure I've chatted with the owner of this company a few times in a micro brand group on Facebook. Later in this video, I'll let you know what makes me believe that. But sadly, on their website, there isn't a ton of information on the brand itself. However, there's great write-ups on different dials that they produce. So let's dig into Vitreum Watches. So their website has some great information on what enameling is. Grand Fu enamel dials are notoriously hard to make, and the process is both unforgiving and time-consuming. It takes days for a skilled enameler to make a Vitreum enamel dial. Even then, many dials are discarded if they do not live up to our strict standards. Each Vitreum dial starts its life as a thin sheet of sterling silver. A disc is cut out, and depending on the dial, it is either bent into shape or carved out by hand with a graver. They also discuss preparation. The raw enamel is crushed from lumps of glass into small particles resembling grains of sand. After that, the enamel is thoroughly washed to get rid of smaller enamel particles. This is to prevent cloudiness in the enamel. This process is necessary for every single color that is used and requires a fair bit of patience. Afterwards, the blank dial is engraved by hand. This is what makes the light reflect differently from different angles. And the next step in the process is cooking. Enamel glass is ground and meticulously layered on top of the silver dial and fired in a kiln at 850 degrees Celsius. The other side of the dial receives several layers of what is called counter enamel. Without it, the dial would risk cracking when cooled down. Many layers of enamel are then applied to the front until the desired color depth is achieved. And then they talk about the grind. After many layers of enamel and the dial has reached the desired color depth, the surface is uneven and will need to be ground down completely flat. This includes a great deal of hand grinding using various grits of diamond sanding tools. Now, I knew that enameling was difficult and took a lot of time, and there were a lot of rejects or things that go wrong in the process, but until reading these pieces on their website, I didn't know the exact particulars of how that's done. Alright, so let's take a look at some of my favorite watches that Vitreum produces. The first piece is the Starry Night watch. And of course, this is Van Gogh inspired, as you can tell. These pieces are absolutely art on the wrist. I mean, if you think about it, all of them are, because they all go through that crazy enameling process. And each watch has a little write-up about it. And the piece for this watch says, "Every stroke of the artist's brush has been carefully reproduced by carving out the various swirly shapes into the sterling silver with a graver. The moon and stars consist of meticulously shaped 24-karat gold foil." Yeah, it absolutely looks like a Van Gogh. It's crazy. Now, the stats for all of these watches are pretty much identical. The case size is 39.5 millimeters, the lug to lug is 46.5 millimeters, the lug width is 20 millimeters, the height is 9.5 millimeters, the crystal is sapphire. The movement inside these is a Sellita SW210-1, and the Starry Night retails for $4,700. So they're not cheap, but given the craftsmanship that went into them, that's a decent price. in my opinion. The next piece is the honeycomb watch. And I mean, just look at that dial. Oh, that is so cool. It reminds me of the Mosaic Cartier, which is also brilliant. And I'm pretty sure this was the watch that I saw on Facebook and chatted with the owner about it. At that time, I didn't realize that he was doing enamel dials, so I asked him if he had any of these out for review. No. Not with all that crazy work behind him. But he was super nice, great to chat with. And if it wasn't him, then I guess I chatted with another watchmaker who does honeycomb dials. But I'm pretty sure it was this watch. So the little write-up on this piece says, "You will be entranced by the captivating interplay of colors and shapes, a testament to the mastery and dedication of the artisans who brought this timepiece to life." The stats for this watch are identical to the previous one, and so is the price. So it retails for $4,700. Next up we have the emerald green watch, and yeah, that is a wild green dial there. It's like an aerial view looking down on a forest. And they did some fun stuff with the hour indicators. And I just love the case shape of all of these pieces and the handset that they went with. It'll be interesting to see what this brand does in the future. See if they start branching out as far as case designs and different hands on different pieces. But that green enameling is just phenomenal. And the write-up on this watch says, "In the heart of this refined minimalism lies a subtle homage to the past, embodied by the," and I'm totally gonna botch this, "the Halbach numerals. These ancient symbols, found in the 1310 manuscripts Halbach by Icelandic lawman Haukur Erlendsson, are enduring figures which symbolize a connection between the ancient past and the modern era. These numerals capture the essence of centuries-old tradition and craftsmanship, honoring the enduring heritage of horological artistry." So with this watch, the stats are the same, but the price is different. These pieces retail for only $2,600 for an enameled dial. That's pretty wild. However, there's another note on this watch. Although it's not a limited edition, the intricate craftsmanship involved limits availability. Orders are fulfilled on a first-come, first-served basis, ensuring early orders receive priority. Due to the meticulous production process and high demand, delivery dates may vary. Estimated delivery time is currently Q1 of 2025. And the last watch on my list, of course, is my favorite one, the Phantom Black. These watches have the same fun indices on them that call out the ancient past, but look at the dials. They fade from solid black to a faint blue at the center. Phantom is a perfect name for them. They aren't completely minimal, so they don't go sort of a museum route, but they're very clean. The dial color is just phenomenal on these, and you can't really get that unless you do enameling. I'm pretty sure in person you could really see the depth of these dials. I have not seen them in person though, only in pictures. And this one is the least expensive of all of them. Yes. So they have the same specs as the other ones, but these ones retail for $2,350. And again, for an enamel dial watch, wow, I feel like that's a great price. Yeah, this brand is super cool. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on them in the future and see what other pieces they come up with. Thanks for watching.